When is Starbucks reopening? So this is a really, really huge question especially for people who live in countries where Starbucks has dominated in their niche. The coffee chain shuttered store lobbies across the country in mid-March due to the coronavirus pandemic. Shuttered obviously means closed, right? But they're planning to reopen, as this article will tell you. This article is taken from Today, very credible news source. I'm like a journalist, so nothing's wrong if I'm mentioning sources and quoting sources, etc. Gonna scroll down to see. By the way, Starbucks was founded by it wasn't founded by Howard Schultz. It was founded by Jerry Baldwin. Right, but a lot of people believe that Schultz was the one who founded it. Schultz was the CEO for many, many years. I think he's no longer CEO. I don't think he's still the CEO. So it says here, this week, as some areas in the United States start to witness a flattening curve of the new coronavirus cases, Starbucks has announced plans to begin reopening stores across the country. By the way, when it comes to the coronavirus, you can't necessarily get caught up in all the media hype where it's concerned, because you have to look at the fatality rate for people under 45 if you really want to get a great idea of, of, of how the virus works. So if you're 45 or under and you're healthy, the chances of you dying from the coronavirus is very, 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 very slim. Right? I just want to make that clear. If you don't believe me, you can look it up. You have Google, there's YouTube. Yeah, you can look it up. In an open letter to employees posted Thursday, Starbucks CEO Kevin Johnson said the company will be transitioning into a new phase, best described as monitor and adapt. Right, that's what we all have to be doing now. We have to, we just gotta keep monitoring and adapting to what's going on, because we don't know how soon this will end. I try to be optimistic and realistic at the same time, and I hope this thing would just end right now. I'm not a fan of this sort of thing. Diseases killing people and all of that shit. Right, but it is what it is. This means every community will continue to monitor the COVID-19 situation, and people and businesses in that community will begin to adapt, Johnson wrote. Right, this is Kevin Johnson tweeting, saying Starbucks is resilient. Starbucks has been through countless strategic inflection points. Any successful business has gone through that. But this COVID-19 era, it's probably gonna be the biggest, or if not one of the biggest, strategic inflection points of our lifetime. So a strategic inflection point is when things change in an industry. Right, but it's in this case, it's not only in an industry, it's across the entire world. COVID-19 is a strategic inflection point where things change according to a curve, right? So for example, a business, if they've undergone a great change, they tend to hit a curve, and they can either get better or get worse from there. That's basically the easiest way to explain what a strategic inflection point is. So as they've done in China, they'll monitor and adapt. Right, China, the Starbucks stores have already started to reopen in China. I think 95% of them have started to reopen. The company has gone through a similar transition in China where the number of new COVID-19 cases per day has dropped drastically in recent weeks. So they say. So China might have the most coronavirus deaths, right? You can't really take everything that they say as gospel. You have to take it with a grain of salt. You just have to. Currently, over 95% of all Starbucks stores have reopened in China, according to the company. Okay, so this is coming directly from Starbucks. That last line there. As was the case in China, this means we will gradually expand and shift the customer experiences we enable in our stores, Johnson wrote. For example, some Starbucks stores will continue as drive-through only. Others may utilize the mobile ordering experience for contactless pickup and delivery, and others may reopen for to-go ordering. As we experience in China, this will be a journey, and we are thoughtfully preparing for this next phase as we adapt in the US, he continued. I sincerely hope that China isn't covering up a second coronavirus wave. That would be devastating. I really hope they're not. And it's arguable that it's debatable that COVID-19 could even become seasonal. That's even more cause for concern. But I don't do these videos to create panic or anything like that. I'm just telling you what I've been hearing. As a matter of fact, I don't plan to make most of the YouTube videos on this channel about the coronavirus. On March 21, Starbucks closed all the lobbies in all of its company-operated stores in the US and Canada and moved to a drive-through and delivery-only model in an effort to help combat the global health crisis. The company also pledged to do more to keep its employees safe. While this model remained in place for more than the originally announced 2 weeks, the company said this new phase will begin early next month. By the way, there's a Starbucks location in Jamaica. It was opened in 2018. I've never been there, but I did my research. I did my research. It's always important that even if you've never experienced something personally, it's good when you do your research so that you know what to expect or what to avoid when it comes to new experiences. It could be any experience. I'm not referring in particular to Starbucks. I'm just saying, while this model remained in place for more than the originally announced 2 weeks, the company said this new phase will begin early next month. Oh, I read that again, didn't I? I know. Beginning May 4, we will reopen as many stores as we can with modified operations and best-in-class safety measures, and intend for any partner who is healthy and well to come back to work. By the way, they're talking about reopening the US economy in early May. Right? They're just talking about it. They haven't decided that that's what they're gonna do. And when I said they, I mean the US government. They haven't decided that they're gonna reopen the economy. There have just been talks about it. Ongoing talks. As states begin to relax their stay-at-home orders and more communities prepare to reopen, we will need to get our stores back up and running wherever it is safe and responsible to do so we can keep every partner employed and be a light for our communities through this next phase of rebuilding and recovery, she said. I'm glad she made that point, because guess what? You have some people who they let fear overcome them, and then all they do is stay home with their feet up and their arms crossed. Right? Not everyone can do that. Not everyone. I certainly can't. I have responsibilities. I don't get handouts. I don't have anybody taking care of me, anything like that. So I still have to do what I have to do to help the economy. Being a light for our communities, a light for my community, and even supporting communities, because when we help the economy, we help to send multiple families, um, children to school, right? We help them buy their groceries by purchasing from them. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So some people can afford to sit and not do anything, but we have a responsibility to the economy to ensure that it stays functional, because the government alone can't get it done. There's nowhere in the world where the government only can support the economy. It's up to the citizens. You have some government leaders, they're always telling people to take responsibility and that it's our country and so on. So what do you expect? Do you expect that some people are just gonna do you expect that everyone is just gonna um stay home and do nothing? Nonsense. Nonsense. Well, I abide by the laws of the land, right? There is a lockdown where I'm at, and I ensure to follow the guidelines set out by the government in terms of the days that I can go on the road only. Go on the road only when necessary. Only when necessary. And I have full evidence of that. Starting May 3, however, employees will no longer be paid if they do not show up to work their assigned schedules. However, during this transitional period, the coffee giant plans to extend service pay through the end of the month, which gives an additional $3 per hour to employees who are healthy and come back to work. Starbucks will also extend catastrophic pay for those who have been diagnosed with or exposed to COVID-19 so they can remain isolated. So Johnson wrote a letter and explained that there are dozens of factors that will help inform the decisions that they're currently making. As you can read it here, what the factors are. Not gonna be playing this video. I'm almost out of time. That's it. I really hope they open up back as quickly as possible though. I try to keep these videos to 15 minutes or less. Remember to subscribe and click the notification icon when you do so that you are kept in the loop as quickly as possible as soon as fresh content is uploaded. Right? Share as well. Share the heck out of these videos. I would really appreciate it. I don't like to rely on YouTube SEO only, meaning YouTube algorithms to rank me within YouTube. I'm skilled at that, but I like when people share and get value out of what it is that they're sharing for themselves so that other people can end up getting the value. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Oops. Seem to be having a little issue here. I don't know what it is.